All right, guys, I'm going to do something just a little bit different today. And that little bit different is going to be, I'm going to do the Rythm blood test. And what it is monthly blood tracking for personal performance. It's this pretty innovative concept where you basically do your own blood collection through this little device on your arm, and then you send it in through FedEx and get your blood test back really, really quick. And they send you this package, and it's got quite a few instructions to it. And it's not, like a 1 minute process, but it shouldn't also take, longer than about 10 or 12 minutes either to do it all. But this is my first one, so I've not done it before. I have no idea what my markers are. I've been on a predominantly ketogenic diet. When I say predominantly, I started off and I did, I think, 90 days with no sugar whatsoever, and then I've gone through a period of about 60 days where I've allowed, in essence, not really a cheat meal, but I've had some items that would qualify as cheat items over the last 60 days, and that's not been working out so good. So I've pushed back into a predominantly ketogenic style diet. That does not mean I'm in ketosis. I'm not actually even testing that, but I do check my blood sugar fairly often, and I always want to make sure that my blood glucose, my fasted blood glucose, is down under 100, and that's been pretty good. And then I've been checking the impact of different things, different types of food, protein bars and drinks and stuff like that, after I consume them on my blood sugar. So I have no idea where things like my cholesterol, triglycerides, any of those things are. And this test isn't super comprehensive in the sense that, it's not going to tell me like my A1C or anything like that. I'm hoping that they add those options in the future, but as of right now, those are not options. So I've opened up the little bag that they send you, and I'm going to take a look inside and see what all we have. So the first thing is, there's a FedEx return envelope that is all already paid for. So that's kind of awesome. Let's see what else is in here. Okay, this is going to be the little heat pack deal, and there's a little disc in here that basically you just pop this disc in. It's really weird. It looks like a contact lens. It looks like a little metal contact lens. And something happens, there's a chemical reaction that happens when you pop that contact lens the other direction. So I'll do that in a minute. And then what it does is it has a chemical reaction in this pack, and this thing gets hot, and you'll hold it on your arm for 4 minutes, and that's going to help the blood actually, get into the device a little bit easier. And I don't even know the mechanism. I don't know how the device actually works, other than knowing that this is the actual device. You've probably seen videos of this. There's a little red button on here, and on the back of it, once I actually take it out, there's some adhesive type stuff, and I'll use alcohol to clean the site, and then I'll put this on my arm, push that red button, and I'll have attached this small little vial to it, and over the course of so many minutes, that thing should fill up with blood, and then I'll put this cap on it, and you do this little back and forth motion a few times that actually mixes some sort of chemical with your blood to make it, survive the shipping back to the lab. So anyhow, there's the actual device itself, the way it's packaged. And we'll assemble this in just a minute with the other parts. I'm setting everything down next to me right here on the console. It was not my plan to do this in the car, but I'm fasted. I haven't had anything since 10 o'clock last night, and we're at, almost dropped that. We're at about 9 o'clock right now in the morning. So I'm about 11 hours fasted. And this little deal right here is the actual shipping tube. It's a little hard plastic, pretty cool little deal where you'll put the vial in there and then screw that lid back on, and then this will go into the package and go on its way back to the lab. So that's the shipping tube. It's really cool. They've got their little logo on pretty much everything. I think it's pretty awesome. Obviously a lot of thought and time and attention into all of this. All right, let's see. Sterile non-woven sponge, a little 2x2. Looks like something that would come out of one of my little tactical first aid kits. So you've got that. That's just a little gauze there. This is your actual collection vial right here. So there's that. We'll open this up in just a minute, and this will actually go onto that little red button thing and be a part of that. And yes, it's important that you are hydrated before you do this. They say that you should consume a cup of water. Other things say you should drink a little more. I happen to just find this Skyra. I don't actually normally drink this, 20 ounces, and I've been sipping this over about the last 45 minutes. Almost gone. And, you know, just from my days back in fitness, I realized that when you load up too much water all at one time, it doesn't actually have a hydrating effect. A lot of that's just going to go on through your system, and you're going to flush it down the toilet. So I've been sipping that over about 45 minutes so I can actually get some hydration from it. So let's see. This is a small adhesive bandage. It's like the little disc. Obviously that'll go on after I finish doing the test and need to seal up that little wound. And they say there's no needle in this, that instead, and this is gonna maybe freak some people out, but they say that it's actually like a small, that's what I call it, a razor blade. So not necessarily a razor blade, but a very, very fine blade type thing rather than a needle that punctures in. It's something a little different than that. So either way, everybody says it doesn't hurt. I'm not afraid of the pain. If it was a needle or not a needle or what, I don't care. So we're gonna hop right into that. This is an alcohol prep pad. It's a very small one. So I think it's gonna be kind of important that you really use this carefully because it's not huge. You're definitely going to want to sterilize that, area where that, whatever it is, that non-needle device is going to, go in. And that's it. Nothing else in the bag. All empty from there. It seems pretty straightforward. Let's see if I can, I'm using my phone to record, so I'm going to see if I can do all of this stuff, take all of the steps from memory. Now they do say to use the alcohol prep pad first on most of the videos and stuff, and then to use the heat. But I'm not a big fan of taking this thing that I have touched a lot, and I've had it sitting in my console, it's been in that bag, and cleaning, then putting this on. That kind of seems a little backwards. So I'm going to use this, then use the alcohol prep pad, then put the device on. So yep, I'm already varying from the instructions a little bit. You may also hear that it's raining outside. So it's a little bit of a chilly, slightly chilly day right here, and I'm sitting right outside of the place that I'm gonna go grab my chow after I finish this test. I want to get this thing done first. All right, water is done. It's not bad stuff. I don't know if you've ever had that. I guess you said it, Skyra. Not too bad. All right. So they do recommend that you get all of your little components open first, and kind of makes sense because you're gonna need to access them, and you don't want to be trying to open things up while you've got this device stuck on your arm. So I'm gonna go ahead and do what they said in that regard. I'm gonna get we'll get the bandage open. I'm not gonna I'm not going to go ahead and peel the paper off of that yet, or the sticker part off of that yet, but I am going to go ahead and get that open. So we'll leave that sitting. I'm putting that up on my dash. I don't remember 100% why I need the sterile non-woven 4-ply sponge, but I'm guessing that's to absorb a little blood after the fact. So we can do that. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing open. Hang on, I'm afraid I'm about to get hit here. Somebody's actually going the wrong way on a one-way road. First they almost backed into me. Now they're literally going the wrong way on a one-way road. So that's the kind of adventure you have when you're trying to do your blood test on a rainy day in Salina, Texas. All right, so there's that little sponge thing opened up now. I'll go ahead and set this up on the dash so I can access that whenever I need it. Let's see what else we have here that I need to actually open in advance. That may be it. We'll do the alcohol prep pad in just a minute. I'm not going to open it yet because we know what will happen. All that alcohol will evaporate and I won't be able to use that, so we're not going to open that yet. Before I do any of this stuff though, before I open anything or do any of that stuff, I am going to, let's just put that alcohol prep pad up there even though it's not open. Hand sanitizer. Okay. Washed my hands before I left the house. But let's just take one more step here and do this. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of hand sanitizer for the effect that it has on my skin. I've always got really bad knuckles, and that's all throwback to hitting a canvas bag back in the day, and it just really destroyed my skin all the time. You can see the backs of my knuckles there. All of that is from lots and lots of canvas bag work. When you're younger, you think, I'm never going to care what my hands look like as long as they're tough and strong, and that's not exactly how you feel when you get a little bit older. You really wish that you actually had much nicer hands. So what happens is that area that I destroyed on both of my knuckles just doesn't function like it's supposed to. Hand sanitizer actually makes that worse. So I'm not the biggest fan of that, but it's part of it. All right, let's figure this little jewel out. Actually, before we do that, why don't we go ahead and at least get this thing open and get the vial put on it. So let's check that out. So I'm gonna peel this open, and let's see, there's a little lid over the button. There's a little protector over the button right there so it doesn't actually accidentally get pressed. And there is a sticker on the back right here. When you peel this off, that's gonna put some adhesive exposed so that you can stick that on your skin. But I want to go ahead and put that vial on here real quick. So here's that little vial I'm talking about with the little green cap. All right, and there's that. Let's see, does it have something in it right now? It is. I can't tell if that has anything in it right now. It almost looks like it has a little something down in the bottom of it. So that is completely possible. Okay, so took that off. That actually unscrews. I'm gonna set the lid down right there. I'm holding this upright just in case there is something in there. I don't know if there is or not. Okay, now the secret to this is that it's a press on, and it lines up only a certain way. So I'm gonna put this on here. I know that I'm twisting that, but I'm twisting it to try and align it with how I think that needs to go. I don't think that's right. Let's see. I'm not 100% sure if there is a way to tell which way, if that's right or wrong or what. I have a feeling I could put this on here a lot of different ways. I mean, okay. slightly confusing in the sense that I thought this would have like something on that part and something on this part that just aligned perfectly, but that does not appear to be the case. Now, there are some under this sticker, I think there's some graduated marks, but those are probably covered up intentionally because I don't think those green marks have anything to do with collecting the blood. I know it's supposed to go all the way up to the top. I'm not seeing anything unique or... The only thing I can imagine here is that it's got that little scoop shape. If you can barely see that sticking out, see it against my black shirt. It's got kind of a little scoop shape on it. This has a little scoop shape on it. And it does seem to go on a little further when you put the little raised section on the tube up in this notch on the back of the device. It does seem to go on there a little further. Okay, so I don't know if that's right or wrong, but we're going to call that right. We're going to say that's good enough. Okay, and I'm going to set this down, and we're going to now do this little deal. So like I said, that's a little convex or concave depending on which way you basically get it, so that you can, like, 2 fingers on one side, the curve goes like this, your thumbs go on that little bubble curve, and you just pop it inside out. That's it. You're not breaking anything, you're just popping the little thing the other direction, and then this is supposed to have a reaction in it. From what I've seen, this actually crystallizes, turns into something totally different. All right, so let's give that a shot real quick. Okay, so you heard that little snap. Yep, and there it goes. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's actually growing through the thing. So that chemical reaction is taking place big time right there. Okay. Oh yeah, that is plenty warm. I'm gonna mash that around a little bit. Well, this thing actually gets super hot. That's pretty awesome. Okay, find a spot on my arm right here. All right, now that I'm going to look at the clock on my phone, we're at 17:30. I'm going to hold this on here. Now for the actual video, I'm pretty sure that I'll speed this up. So I'm going to want to let this go until 21:30. Now they do say that if this gets too hot on your skin, because it does get pretty warm, like if it's too uncomfortable, you can take it off and then put it back on. So we're just gonna let that sit right there for a minute. 4 minutes to be exact. See how this thing does. Now the cool thing about this little pack right here is that it's actually reusable. That's crazy. And they send you a new one apparently each time you get the kit, monthly or however often you agree to do this. You get a new one of these each time. So this is a little pack with some sort of chemicals in it. I don't know how that thing does. I have no idea how that little disc breaking can actually cause this thing to then crystallize like you just are, or have that reaction. It's kind of firm stuff in there. I don't know what that is, and get hot like this. But when you take this, if you put it in a pot of boiling water, apparently it returns this back to usable. So very interesting, pretty cool. All right, so we're 2 minutes in at this point. Let's see any, yep, you can see the redness right there from the heat. It's awesome. It's not unbearable. It's plenty hot, don't get me wrong. That thing is plenty warm. It's not gonna like scald you or anything like that, but it's warm. It's gonna get the blood up here for sure. So if you're like particularly sensitive to heat or thin-skinned, something like that, you know, something you might want to consider. But no, it actually seems really good. Do this for, let's see, how much longer? It's like another minute. So you can see I didn't do too much to make myself try to look any nicer for the video. I just did my morning chores. So who knows what kind of hay and everything else I have on this shirt. And I've got yesterday's mail stuck up above the visor here. So, you know, there's just, yeah, look at that. I think I even have a protein bar stuck up here because I had a dog in the car and I did not want the dog to get the protein bar. So, yep, these 1 bars, they are like super low to no sugar, 240 calories, and yeah, 3 grams of sugar in that bar. And they are something that, you know, you're not gonna do what you're not gonna do. So if something doesn't taste good, you're not gonna eat it for too long. If something's too challenging, you're probably not gonna stick with it for too long. So these are actually something that I can do. I like them. And 3 grams of sugar works well with the way that I'm eating right now. So side note right there, a little side entertainment. Okay, we've passed our 4-minute mark. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna leave that on there for 1 second. I'm gonna take this alcohol prep pad. Let's go ahead and take that off. Let's try to get the whole thing cleaned up right there. You know what? I think I might understand a little bit of some of the reasons that this might, or they might tell you that. This has adhesive. It's not going to stick to that alcohol right now. So maybe that's one reason. I'm not 100% sure. We'll just let that evaporate real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and peel this sticker off that. There's, you can see that, and who knows literally what that thing is in there. I don't know. It's super thin, very, very thin. There is adhesive around that little opening. I'm gonna take that lid off, that button right there, which will allow this then to work, and I'm gonna try and center this right in the middle of that red right there. I'm actually using the camera. Okay, so that's right in the middle. Let's see how well that sticks. Okay, seems okay. I didn't really get that thing aiming perfectly down. I may have to hold my arm a little bit like this. I think this should point down, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. All right, here we go. Let's see if the pain or no pain thing is actually true. Okay, let's see how it does. I'm just gonna push on this and see what happens. Well, assuming that went, it clicked. That's 0 pain for sure, 100% no pain. Let's hope that thing did what it was supposed to do. Yeah, we'll find out here in just a minute. Okay, got that in the red. It says that it may take 30 seconds to a minute before you start seeing the blood. So far, I got no blood. I got no blood, man. Oh, wait a minute, see what happens. See if we can get this thing to work. Oh, there's blood, baby. Look at that. That's crazy. Wow, that's insane. I wish I could do a close-up on that. Maybe that'll zoom in enough. But that's pretty awesome. Okay. When I say no pain, I literally mean like nothing. I don't even know how that thing did this. No. I've never had a problem with needles and all that kind of stuff like that. Just doesn't bother me. I mean, there's things in the doctor's office that I don't love, but Needles has never been one of them. So, see how long this thing takes. What are we in, about 30 seconds maybe right now? I'm guessing. I don't know, I didn't look at the clock. Give this just a second. Okay, it's about a quarter of the way full right now. Super awesome. Super excited to see how this works. Now, once you put all this stuff together and send it in, the lab results are supposed to come back super, super quick, which is awesome. This is working pretty good. I think that hydration paid off. I think the hydration did really, really well. Let's see here, where are we at? Okay, we're definitely at halfway now. It's almost like this thing might have some sort of, like, whenever you push that button and whatever, like it creates almost like a bit of like suction or something like that. I don't know. It's gonna fill up pretty quick here. That's awesome. Very, very cool. I'm super impressed. Because, you know, the key to all of this is like efficiency. Like, you don't want this to take forever. You want this thing to be fast. You want to get quick results. You want everything to be good and fast, because we live in that society now. So I'm going to go ahead and start to, I'm going to peel this bandage open. Okay, got that bandage open. And no, it doesn't hurt to move your arm at all. I'm watching it because there's no like, nobody says anything about like if you overfill it. So I don't want that thing to overfill. Okay, you can see where the blood is moving very quickly up to that mark right there. How long has this been? Couple of minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Okay, so whenever you go to take this thing off, supposedly what you do is you peel it either left to right or right to left. There's no needle in your arm or anything like that, so apparently that's not an issue. We're very, very close there. I'm going to let it go just another second just to be totally sure. Okay, I think we're going to call that a deal. All right, so let's peel this off. And they say hold this up, hold your arm up. So you can see there's no big wound or anything like that. It does make, like, it's like a little tiny little cut. You know, like almost no blood coming out at this point. There's the vial. So that sticker makes it hard to see. There's the vial. Like literally nothing. No pain. No nothing. Yeah, that's what it is. It is a little micro, just not like a little paper cut almost, just nothing. Okay, oops, I accidentally picked up my bandage with my gauze. Okay, let's take this and put a little micro bandage over that. Okay, now then, we've got to remove this, so this is good, this is done, other than my slight red circle from the heat. Now we're going to take this, we're going to take this off. Remember, this doesn't screw on, this was a press fit, so we're going to pull this off here. Okay, there's that, there's the device, here's this lid. And this actually does turn down and lock into that, I believe. Is that correct? No, it's just a press fit also. Okay, so there's that. And then the idea, once you've got that done, is you want to, they say, thump it a few times like that. And then you want to turn this up and down like 10 times. There's supposed to be like a bubble here. I'm really seeing the bubble in this. Oops, let me turn this around so you can see it a little better. Maybe there is a bubble and I just can't see it. I don't know. Or maybe I'm supposed to thump it upside down. Maybe that's the key. Okay, let that thing go. It's gonna get mixed up in the, when it travels, obviously it's gonna go through the mail. That thing's gonna move an awful lot. Now you do have to put your, let's see, I believe, yes, on this, it has to go back in this bag that it came out of. And as you can tell, there's a little barcode type deal there. And they want you to write your date of birth on here. So I'm gonna have a pen, I'm gonna write my date of birth on this. And then this goes into the little black tube, the little travel tube, and then this travel tube goes in this, and then this goes into the FedEx bag. And life is good. Let's take a look at the bandage. Okay, no blood seepage, nothing like that. Obviously, everything's good there. Okay, I'm gonna look at this and see if I can see a bubble. I'm not seeing any sort of a bubble in this thing at all. Is there a bubble? I don't see one. I can hear it mixing in there though. No doubt that it's mixing. Okay, there's the bubble now. Okay, let me show you this. Okay. I don't know if the cameras can be able to pick that up or not, but 100% a bubble in it now that was moving up and down. Yep, big giant bubble. Okay, so I feel a whole lot better. See that bubble moving right there? Okay, so I feel like we're good now with that. I think that's good, okay? So that's well mixed. Let me find a pen here. There's one item that I didn't come prepared with, which is a pen. So I'm not going to go ahead and write my date of birth on there just yet, but I am going to put this. I am going to put this into this vial, or into this travel container, and then that lid locks on there, and then this will go into this bag and zip up, and then this will go in the bubble mailer, the FedEx bubble mailer. And let's see, it's got a little sticker that you can peel. Don't worry, I am gonna get a pen and write my date of birth on there. I'm just kind of showing you right now. So that little vial goes in that. And there's a little strip that you can peel right there. Fold this down once that's done, and then this goes to any retail FedEx location, or supposedly there's a phone number that you can call in the material, and they will see if an Uber is available to come and actually pick up your package and get it to FedEx for you. So this company, Rythm, seems like they've got it going on. I mean, this was remarkable. This thing didn't hurt at all. I'm super impressed by this. I mean, it's got to be the smallest little, just a tiny little, like a little micro blade, and then some sort of technology that draws that blood out of there like that really quick. Zero pain whatsoever, like literally no pain. I'm not saying it because I don't get paid by Rythm to do this. I didn't get this for free. I paid for all of this. And so there's no reason for me to be dishonest and say that it didn't hurt when it actually did. It didn't hurt at all. Literally didn't feel it. 1000% did not feel it. So I'll do another one. We'll do this one. We'll see how the results are. Apparently, most of these markers are actionable, meaning that you, through lifestyle change, diet, exercise, etc., that you can change these things, these markers, that you can actually improve your health. And so what I'm going to do is see how these turn out, and then do another test, and I'll let you know on the second test if that one hurts or not. You know, maybe this was a fluke. Maybe they do hurt. No, I don't think so at all. I think we're good. Zero. I take coenzyme Q10 and also things like garlic extract and things like that that might, you know, affect your blood platelets and your ability to clot. And obviously, if there was some big issue, right now you'd see nothing but blood absorbing through this deal. So anybody who's either not on an OTC, that's not a blood thinner, but something that has any platelet action like that, like coenzyme Q10 or baby aspirin or garlic extract, there's certain things like that that actually are, you know, the benefit of them is that they reduce that that platelet effect, relax your artery walls, do different things like that. That's a whole separate video. But anyways, if there was an issue with this thing being too aggressive with how it actually gets access to the blood, you see it right now, especially on me, and it's not there. So I think that's huge, and I think you have nothing to worry about whatsoever with this little device. So we'll find out soon. I will do a follow-up video and let you guys know the results, and I'll happily share them with you. Good, bad, or indifferent, I'll show them to you, because my intention is anything that's bad, I'm gonna fix, and I'll even let you follow me as I fix that. Anyways, guys, next time I'll try to at least look a little presentable and not look like I just finished farm chores, which I did. And I'm gonna roll in here real quick and grab myself some keto breakfast, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe and God bless.